Way, the family sat at a dining table she had set that morning. She could hear the children laughing. She could hear Zuri say, "Where's Miss Amara? I want Miss Amara to eat with us." Vanessa's voice cut through the laughter like a blade. "Amara is not family. She eats where I tell her to eat." 6 weeks later, a geneticist in Midtown Atlanta slid a manila envelope across his desk. "Mr. Ashford," he said, "sit down before you open this." Garrett opened it. He read the first line. His hands started shaking so badly the paper rattled against the desk. "This can't be right. I ran it 3 times. It's right. What was on that paper would burn the Ashford family to the ground. If you've ever watched someone be treated like they were nothing and felt that fire rise in your chest, stay with me on this one. Hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Because this story is about to go somewhere you will never see coming. She was the perfect nanny. And that was exactly the problem. Amara Diallo arrived at the Ashford estate in Buckhead, Atlanta, on a Tuesday in March, and the agency said it was a good placement. Beautiful home. 2 children. The mother worked from home. Garrett Ashford met her at the door. Tall, kind eyes. He introduced her to the children. Miles was 9. Quiet. Watched Amara for 10 minutes and decided he liked her. Zuri was 6. She grabbed Amara's hand in 30 seconds. "You're pretty. Do you like butterflies?" "I love butterflies." "Good. You're my best friend now." Garrett smiled. "Give her 4 more minutes and she'll ask you to move in." Then Vanessa walked in. Tall, elegant, silk blouse, gold earrings. She looked like a woman who had spent years building herself into something untouchable. She didn't smile. "You're the new nanny." "Yes, ma'am. I'm Amara." Vanessa looked her up and down. Something crossed her face. Fast. Less than a second. It looked like recognition. Like fear. Then it was gone. "The rules," Vanessa said. "You eat in the garage or outside. And not in the kitchen. Not at the table. Back entrance only. Don't sit on the furniture. Don't answer the front door. Don't speak to guests. You are not part of this family. You are staff. Are we clear?" Amara looked at Garrett. His jaw tightened. "Vanessa, are we clear?" Amara swallowed. "Yes, ma'am." For 2 weeks, Amara followed every rule. She ate in the garage. She entered through the back. She never complained. Not when her food was cold. Not when the garage smelled like motor oil. Not when she heard the children calling her name from inside while she sat on concrete with a plate in her lap. She braided Zuri's hair every morning, helped Miles with math every afternoon, read bedtime stories with voices so good both children begged for one more chapter every night. The children adored her, and it made Vanessa worse. One evening, Amara was serving dinner. She placed the salad bowl on the table and her sleeve brushed Vanessa's water glass. 2 drops spilled on the tablecloth. Vanessa stared at the drops, then at Amara. "Get a towel, clean it, and next time you touch anything on this table, make sure your hands are steady. I don't pay you to make messes." "I'm sorry, Mrs. Ashford." "Don't be sorry. Be careful." Miles looked up from his plate. "Mom, it was just 2 drops." "Miles, eat your food." The boy looked at Amara. His eyes said what his mouth couldn't. Amara cleaned the drops and disappeared into the kitchen. She stood by the sink with her eyes closed. Breathing. Just breathing. 3 days later, Vanessa's friend Claudia came over for lunch. Amara served them on the back patio. She poured iced tea. She set out the salads. She moved quietly, the way Vanessa preferred. Claudia watched her. "She seems wonderful. Where did you find her?" "An agency. The children seem to love her." Vanessa sipped her tea. "The children will love anyone who gives them attention." Amara kept her face still. She reached to refill Claudia's glass. "Actually," Vanessa said, pulling the glass away, "we're fine. You can go eat in the garage now. We'd like some privacy." Claudia blinked. "The garage?" That's where the staff eats. Claudia looked at Amara, then back at Vanessa. Something uncomfortable passed across her face. Amara nodded. Yes, ma'am. She walked inside without a word. She walked through the kitchen, through the laundry room, into the garage. She sat on the concrete floor. She didn't eat. She just sat there, staring at the wall. He almost missed it. One tilt of the head, one flash of skin, and the question that would change everything appeared. It was Thursday evening, golden light through the playroom window. Amara was braiding Zuri's hair. Zuri was chattering about a rainbow fish she drew at school. Amara laughed. Her head tilted. Her hair fell away from her neck, behind her left ear, a scar, small, crescent-shaped, pale against her dark skin. Garrett froze in the doorway. He looked at Zuri. Behind Zuri's left ear, same spot, same shape, same crescent curve. Vanessa had told him Zuri's scar was from a toddler fall. She bumped her head on the coffee table. It's nothing. He never questioned it. But now there were two identical scars, on two people who weren't supposed to be related. That night, after the kids were asleep, he brought it up. Have you noticed the scar behind Amara's ear? Vanessa was at her vanity removing earrings. Her hands stopped. What scar? Behind her left ear, crescent-shaped. Zuri has the exact same one, same spot, same size. Her hands moved again, slowly, carefully. That's a coincidence, Garrett. It's a very specific coincidence. It's a coincidence. Her voice had a wall behind it, brick going up. He didn't push. But the next morning he watched from the kitchen doorway. Amara poured cereal for Miles, cut Zuri's toast into triangles. Zuri leaned against Amara's hip. Amara's hand rested on Zuri's head like it belonged there. They moved around each other like two people who shared the same gravity. Who are you, Amara? She chose Amara in 20 minutes. No comparison, no second opinion. And then she spent 2 months treating her like dirt. That doesn't add up, unless you know what she was hiding. Garrett pulled the agency file from his desk. 3 candidates, all qualified. Vanessa insisted on doing the interviews alone. He was in Dallas that week. He found a note from the agency coordinator, Patricia Hines, a small comment from the follow-up call. Your wife chose very quickly. Usually families take a week. She called 20 minutes after the first interview and said she didn't need to see the others. 20 minutes. Instant decision. And from day one, hatred. Why would you choose someone that fast and then despise them? And unless the choosing had nothing to do with qualifications. He opened Amara's file. 23 years old. Born in Dakar, Senegal. Raised in Houston by a great aunt. Mother deceased. Mother deceased. He stared at those 2 words for a long time. Then he closed the file and picked up his phone. He didn't call Vanessa. He called someone else entirely. Over the next 4 days, he moved carefully. Monday. Amara finished a glass of water and placed it in the sink. When she left the room, and he picked it up with a paper towel, sealed it in a Ziploc bag, wrote A, Tuesday, 3 strands of Zuri's hair from her brush, sealed. Wrote B, Wednesday, Vanessa's toothbrush, replaced with a new one while she showered, sealed. Wrote C, Thursday, a private genetics lab in Midtown Atlanta, Dr. Leonard Cross, discreet, expensive. I need 3 DNA profiles compared, Garrett said. Every possible biological relationship. What relationship are you looking for? I don't know yet. That's what scares me. 5 to 7 business days. Garrett drove home in silence. Radio off, windows up, knuckles pale on the steering wheel. She wasn't just cruel anymore. She was escalating. And what she did next proved the cruelty wasn't random. It was calculated. 5 days into the waiting period, Amara was folding laundry upstairs, humming a lullaby her great-aunt Fatu used to sing in Houston. She didn't know the words were Wolof. She just knew the melody made her feel safe. That Vanessa appeared at the top of the stairs, arms crossed. "Where is it?" "Ma'am, my Cartier bracelet, the gold one, nightstand. You were cleaning. Where is it?" "I didn't take anything, Mrs. Ashford. I never touched the nightstand." Vanessa stepped closer. Her voice dropped. "I'm asking one more time. If you lie to me again, I'm calling the police. They'll search your room. Then we'll see." "I didn't take it. I would never steal from anyone." "So it just walked away?" "Mrs. Ashford, please. I have never taken anything." "You're calling me a liar in my own house?" "No, ma'am. I'm just telling you." "One more word. One more. And I pick up that phone." Miles appeared in the hallway holding something gold. "Mom, found it. Under the couch. It probably fell off last night." He held it out. Vanessa took it, looked at the bracelet, then at Amara. No apology, no embarrassment, nothing. She turned and walked away. The bedroom door closed. Amara sat on the hallway floor. She pressed her hands over her face and cried, quietly, the way she'd learned to cry in this house, without sound, without taking up space. Zuri found her there, sat down next to her, put her small hand on Amara's arm. "Don't cry, Miss Amara. Mommy is mean sometimes, but you're the best person in this whole house. I love you the most." Amara wiped her face and pulled Zuri into a hug. She held her tight. And if you had been standing there, you would have seen it. The same deep bronze skin. Zuri's crescent scar pressing against Amara's jaw, inches from the identical mark. 2 pieces of the same broken plate. Garrett stood at the bottom of the staircase, looking up through the railing. He saw it too. If you're feeling what I'm feeling right now, drop a comment. Tell me what you think is on that DNA report. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, hit it now. Because what comes next, I promise you, you are not ready. The call came on a Tuesday. 5 words that split Garrett's life in half. "Mr. Ashford, please come in." He told Vanessa he had a meeting. She didn't ask what kind. Dr. Cross was waiting behind his desk. A manila envelope, a printed report, and a glass of water sat in front of him. "Before I give you this," Dr. Cross said, "understand something. I ran these tests 3 times. 2 independent methods. The results are consistent. No error. No contamination. Just tell me." Dr. Cross placed the paper on the desk. Subject A and Subject B share approximately 25% of their DNA, consistent with a half-sibling relationship." Garrett's breath caught. "But that's not what stopped me." He pointed to a highlighted line. "Subject A and Subject C share approximately 50%. Mr. Ashford, Subject C is Subject A's biological mother." The room tilted. "Say that again." "The woman whose toothbrush you brought me is the biological mother of the woman whose water glass you brought me. And there is no ambiguity. Vanessa was Amara's mother. His wife was the nanny's mother, the woman who made her eat in the garage, who accused her of stealing, who told the children she wasn't family, who made her use the back door of her own mother's house. This can't be right. 3 times, Mr. Ashford. She made her own daughter eat on a concrete floor, next to a lawnmower, while her other children sat at the table 10 feet away. His voice cracked. Right down the middle. "Doctor." Cross pushed the water forward. "I'm sorry." Garrett didn't touch it. He sat without moving for a long time. The clock ticked. Traffic moved along Peachtree. The world kept going. But inside that office, everything rearranged into a shape he didn't recognize. He picked up the envelope, folded it, put it in his pocket, walked to his car. He sat in the parking garage for 20 minutes before he turned the key. Every lie has a name. And Garrett was about to learn the one his wife buried for 23 years. He got home at 6:10. The children were upstairs. He could hear Zuri singing. He could hear Amara laughing along, the nanny laughing with her little sister, because that's what Zuri was. Amara's half-sister. Vanessa was in the living room. Tablet. Wine glass half finished. "You're home early." Garrett didn't sit down. He placed the envelope on the coffee table. "Hey, who is Ndai Sao?" The tablet slipped from her fingers, hit the couch, bounced to the carpet. "What did you just say?" "Ndai Sao, born in Dakar, gave birth at 16, left the baby with her grandmother, disappeared, changed her name, changed everything. Who is she, Vanessa?" Her face went through 4 stages in 5 seconds. Shock, terror, calculation, and then something he had never seen. Collapse. Her hand went to her mouth. Her eyes filled. "How did you find out?" "DNA. Amara's water glass, Zuri's hairbrush, your toothbrush." "You had no right. You made your own daughter eat in the garage, Vanessa." That sentence hit the room like a gunshot. She flinched like she'd been struck. "Don't. She is your daughter. 50% match, your firstborn. And you made her eat on concrete while her brother and sister sat at the table." Vanessa stood. Her legs were shaking. She walked to the bay window and pressed her forehead against the glass. You don't understand." "Then make me understand. Right now." Silence. Then, with her back to him, tears running down her face, Vanessa told the truth for the first time in 23 years. Her real name was Ndai Sao. She grew up in Dakar, smart, top of her class. She didn't want to be poor. She wanted America. At 16, she got pregnant. The father denied everything. Her mother was furious. Her grandmother was heartbroken. The baby came in December. A girl, 6 pounds, perfect, and with a crescent scar behind her left ear from the forceps. She held her daughter for 3 days, fed her, named her, memorized her face. On the 4th morning, she placed the baby in her grandmother's arms. "I can't take her where I'm going." "Where are you going, child?" "Somewhere I can become someone else." She came to America on a scholarship, changed her name, flattened her accent, erased every trace of Ndai Sao like words from a chalkboard. She married Garrett, had Miles, had Zuri, and built a life so polished no one could see the cracks. Then the agency sent 3 candidates. She opened the first file, saw the photograph, saw the scar. "I knew the second she walked in," Vanessa whispered. "The scar, my mother's cheekbones, my grandmother's hands. I knew who she was before she said her name." "Then why did you hire her?" She turned from the window. Mascara tracked down both cheeks. "Because I wanted to see her. 23 years, Garrett. I didn't know if she was alive. And then her face was in a folder on my kitchen table. And I wanted her close. I wanted to hear her voice. I wanted to watch her breathe. And then you made her eat in the garage." Her face crumbled, all at once. "Because I was terrified. If she found out who I was, if you found out, everything collapses. My name, my marriage, my children's respect. Everything I spent 23 years building. Gone. So I pushed her away. I thought if I was cold enough, cruel enough, she'd quit. She'd leave. And the secret stays buried." But she didn't leave. "No." Her voice was barely there now. "She stayed. She loved my children. She held Zuri like I held her when she was 3 days old. She braided her hair and sang her songs. And every day I watched her be the mother I never was. Patient, gentle, present. And it made me hate myself so much I took it out on her. I punished her for being good, because her goodness was a mirror. And in that mirror I could see exactly what I was. Silence. The kind that presses against your chest. "You need to tell her," Garrett said. "I can't. Tonight. Or I will. Some doors close to keep people out. Some doors close to keep the truth in. That garage door kept the truth locked inside this house for 2 months. Tonight, the door was going to open. Amara was putting Zuri to bed when Garrett knocked on the door frame. "Amara, Can you come downstairs?" Something in his voice made her stomach tighten. It wasn't anger. It was heavier, like the moment before a storm when the wind stops and the sky holds its breath. She tucked the blanket around Zuri, kissed her forehead. "Sweet dreams, little butterfly." She followed Garrett down the stairs. Vanessa was on the couch. No makeup, no earrings, no armor, hair down, hands in her lap. And she looked like a woman who had been carrying a boulder uphill for 23 years and finally set it down. Amara stood in the doorway. For the first time, instead of fear, she felt concern. "Mrs. Ashford, are you all right?" Vanessa looked up, really looked at her, for the first time without walls, without contempt. "Sit down, Amara, please." Amara sat. She looked at Garrett. He nodded gently. Vanessa's hands were trembling. "My real name is Ndai Sow. I was born in Dakar, Senegal. When I was 16, I had a baby girl." Amara didn't move, didn't breathe. "I was scared. I was alone. The father denied everything. My grandmother was the only one who showed me grace. I held my daughter for 3 days. Then I put her in my grandmother's arms and I left." "That baby," Vanessa said, and her voice cracked wide open, "was born with a small scar behind her left ear, crescent-shaped, from the forceps." Amara's hand moved slowly to the side of her head, and her fingers found the scar she'd touched 1,000 times, the scar she'd been told came from a difficult birth. "My great-aunt Fatu raised me," Amara whispered. "She told me my mother died in childbirth. She told you what I asked her to tell you. I called when you were 2. I asked her to say I was dead. I thought if you believed I was gone, you wouldn't spend your life looking for someone who didn't deserve to be found." Amara's face changed. Confusion, understanding, a disbelief. Then something deeper, something between grief and rage and a longing so old it had become part of her bones. "You're my mother." "Yes." "You knew. From the first day." "Yes." "You made me eat in the garage." "Yes." "You accused me of stealing. In front of your son. You threatened to call the police on me. You told your children I wasn't family. You made me use the back door. And you knew, the entire time, and that I was your daughter." "I was afraid." "Of what?" Amara's voice rose for the first time. Not a scream. Something worse. A controlled, shaking, barely held together demand. "What were you afraid of? Tell me, because I need to hear you say it." "Of losing everything." "Everything? You mean your house, your earrings, your silk blouses? That's what you were protecting? While your firstborn child ate cold food on a concrete floor?" "Amara, don't. Don't say my name like that. Not now. Not after 2 months of saying it like it tasted bad in your mouth." Silence, long and heavy. "I used to dream about you," Amara said. Her voice dropped. Quiet now. Almost a whisper. "Every night when I was little, I'd lie in bed at Aunt Fatu's apartment and dream that my mother wasn't really dead, that she was out there somewhere, alive, looking for me. That one day she'd walk through the door and hold me and tell me she was sorry. I held on to that dream for years. It was the only thing that kept me going." She wiped her face with the back of her hand. "Now I find out she was real. She was alive. She found me. She brought me into her house, and she made me eat on a concrete floor." Vanessa was crying. Not elegant tears, not controlled, ugly, messy, raw. The tears of Ndai Sow, the 16-year-old from Dakar who made a decision in a moment of terror and spent 23 years running from it. "I'm sorry," Vanessa said. "I know it's not enough. I know there are no words big enough. You deserved a mother, a real one. Instead, you got a woman too much of a coward to claim you. I made my own daughter eat in the garage because I was too afraid to say 3 words. You are mine. I'm sorry." I am so sorry. Amara looked at her for a long time. The clock ticked. Somewhere upstairs, Zuri murmured in her sleep about butterflies. You know what Aunt Fatu used to tell me? Every night before bed, she'd hold my face and say, "The woman who runs from her child runs from herself. She will run forever, until the child forgives her. Then the running stops." Amara wiped her face one last time. I'm not going to hate you. I could. Part of me thinks I should. But I won't. Because hate is a garage too. And I'm done eating in garages. She walked to the doorway, put her hand on the frame, turned back. But I need time. A lot of time. And I need you to understand something. Forgiveness is not the same as forgetting. I forgive you because carrying this will kill me if I don't. But I will never forget what it felt like to sit on that floor and eat cold food next to a lawnmower while my own mother sat at a table I set. I will carry that with me for the rest of my life. She took a breath. If you want to be my mother, my real mother, not the woman who left me, not the woman who made me eat in the garage, my actual mother, you have to earn it. Starting from zero. Starting from the concrete floor. She left the room. Vanessa sat on that couch for an hour. Wine untouched, phone buzzing. She didn't move. Garrett sat beside her, didn't touch her, didn't speak. Because sometimes being present is the only thing you can offer someone watching their life collapse and rebuild in the same night. Upstairs, Amara lay on the narrow bed in the small room at the back of the house. The room Vanessa had given her because it was the farthest from the family. She stared at the ceiling. And for the first time in 23 years, she knew her mother's face. It was the face of the woman who made her eat in the garage, and it was the face of a woman who had been eating in her own garage for 23 years. A garage built of lies, of shame, of fear so thick it became a wall. There is an old saying where Amara's people come from. They say fate does not knock, fate does not send a letter. Fate walks in, sits down at your table, and eats whatever you serve. Vanessa served cruelty, and fate brought her own daughter to receive it. But Amara served something else. Even after the garage, even after the cold food, even after the accusations and the back door and the concrete floor, even after 23 years of believing her mother was dead, Amara served grace, and grace is the one meal that changes everything. You cannot outrun what you've done. You cannot change your name enough times. You cannot build a life polished enough to hide the cracks. The truth has roots, and roots crack through everything. But you can stop running. You can turn around. You can face the person you wronged. And if the person standing in that doorway has a heart like Amara's, you might find forgiveness waiting on the other side. Not because you earned it, but because they chose it. If this story moved something in you tonight, something you didn't expect, subscribe. Hit that bell. Because in the next story, fate doesn't bring grace. Fate brings something heavier, something darker, and you're going to want to be here when it lands. Fate and folk tales.
Años exactamente, bueno, no exactamente, ¿no? Un grupo de soñadores en La Paz decidió fundar algo que trascendería generaciones. El glorioso Club Bolívar. No imaginaron que... Oye, me he esforzado al hacer el discurso. ¿Qué ponen ZZ, chat? Basta, me he esforzado, se los juro que me he esforzado, bro, basta. Por favor, me he esforzado en el discurso, respétenme un poquito, chat. Bueno, igual lo voy a leer, me la chupan, la verdad. Chat, nefastos. Son unos envidiosos, ¿saben? Son unos envidiosos. ¿En qué me quedé? No imaginaron que ese nombre se convertiría en un sinónimo de grandeza, lucha y de orgullo nacional. 101 años después, Bolívar no es solo un club. Es un sentimiento que se hereda, que se sufre y se celebra. Últimamente sufrimos mucho por Robato, ¿no? Es el latido de miles de hinchas que en cada victoria y en cada caída nunca abandonan, ¿verdad? No más. Porque ser celeste no es una elección, es una forma de vivir. Muy bien, qué lindo, un aplauso. Bravo, bravo. Muchachos, tremendo discurso. Buenas noches, Edito, ¿cómo estás? Por lo menos ponte tu chompita, pues, un busito para leer el discurso. A ver, cállate, Gabo, ¿vos quieres ser baneado? Este discurso lo he hecho en mi cama, pensando en lo que es ser bolivarista, la verdad. Un aplauso, por favor, y con ayuda también del gran ChatGPT. Un aplauso para ChatGPT. ¿Cuál era la finalización de un ratito? Dice, que estos 101 años sean solo el comienzo de muchas más llenos de alegría. Felicidades, Academia. Felicidades, Bolívar. ¡Bravo! Aplausos para ChatGPT, muchachos. Para vos no, dice. Buenas noches, muchachos, ¿cómo están? Gracias por estar aquí, perdón por prender tan tarde. La verdad estaba viendo mi serie, estaba viendo el regreso de Justin Bieber. Toda la tarde me vi fútbol, hasta vi el partido del Tigre. Vi el partido de River, vi el partido de Oriente. Las declaraciones de Martins, tremendo lo de Martins, bebé, le tiró palo a Villegas, pero bien tirado. Huevada, en su cama lo hizo todo pajeado pensando en el... No, ¿qué dice este Arielito? Oye, ¿quiénes vamos, no? Mi sobrino de kinder redacta mejor. Dile eso a ChatGPT, yo no he redactado. ¿Qué me estás molestando a mí? Felicidades. Qué pasado. Pues la verdad nomás. ¿Qué quieren que les diga? A ver, ¿qué les puedo decir, muchachos? Yo no publiqué nada en mi página, la verdad no hice nada estos días. Han sido momentos difíciles. Bien triste, ¿no? Mentira. Pero no, muchachos, bueno. Quiero felicitar a todos los que son bolivaristas y hoy en día más que nunca, ¿no? Que es difícil ser bolivarista en el sentido de todo el contexto que estamos pasando con el técnico. Pero si lo ven por el otro lado también hay que sentirnos orgullosos porque hemos llegado a estos 101 años. Creo que como la institución mejor parada, tanto económicamente, futbolísticamente y dirigencialmente diría, pero no, creo que no, ahí nos falta, ¿no? Ese eslabón para poder ser una institución sólida. Y como ayer creo que lo decía Dardo Gómez en su publicación en el Cholet, que Dios mío, ¿de dónde cagan tanta plata, bebés? Más fuegos pirotécnicos que en el aniversario de La Paz, no mames. Tremendo, felicidades a los del Cholet, y a ver si pasan pues algunos monies. No mentira. Que dijo que el dirigente tiene que estar siempre al lado del hincha, y eso es mucha verdad, y no es por darle palo a Claure, porque él tendrá sus funciones, las cosas que tiene que hacer, pero creo que por esa parte que estoy... Uy, ¿qué? No, todavía no va a arrancar la fiesta, Tucán, tranquilo. y por esa parte creo que está bien, ¿no? Está bien, y bueno, se vienen unas futuras elecciones, donde el principal candidato es Dardo Gómez, a seguir manejando lo que es este club tan bonito que es Bolívar, ¿no? Por detrás, obviamente, yo creo que tiene que haber gente que lo asesore. Espera, ¿mi gatita se echó pipí? No, ya, más bien. Me ha asustado, chicos, la verdad, me ha asustado. Ya saben ustedes, rayada está mi gatito últimamente, ¿no? No, ¿qué dice este Edipox? Y bueno, muchachos, nos espera, creo, un futuro grandioso. Yo lo dije, creo que esta es una oportunidad ya con el estadio de una vez establecernos como un club de fútbol, pero serio, y fuera de ser autosostenible, que se proyecte a más, ¿me entiendes? No estancarnos en solo ser un club boliviano, sino ya empezar a soñar con, no sé, a ver, por ejemplo, la venta de butacas en el estadio, venta de marketing, merchandising, que se vaya ampliando más las sociedades, ¿me entienden? O sea, yo creo que si una cabeza maneja bien todo eso, creo que podemos despegar, ¿me entiendes? Y no estar ahí creando leyes de mierda con el gobierno, pidiendo perdón para que nos perdonen los impuestos, ¿no? Los gatos, ¿no? Entonces, creo que, o ser un club que está a punto de desaparecer, como Wilstermann, que desapareció de la liga, pero está a punto de desaparecer, pero absolutamente de todo el fútbol. O ser clubes que le están mangueando el auspicio a la UTV y chupándosela al presidente de la federación por subsistir. Entonces, creo que Bolívar es muy grande y tiene, creo que, trascender. Eso es lo que nos falta, trascender, dar ese pasito para trascender y lograr los objetivos que siempre hemos querido, ya sea una Copa Sudamericana o una Copa Libertadores, ¿no? Y siempre tiene que ir de la mano. Estos últimos años, creo que es la verdad, se han ido alejando a las generaciones bolivaristas, al hincha común, al hincha fanático, a todos los tipos de hinchas se han ido alejando del club por justamente el mal trabajo que se ha ido realizando estos últimos años en Bolívar. ¿Qué decía Valdivia? Creo que dijo que dejó un club autosostenible. O sea, sí, no vamos a decir que no, ¿no? Económicamente creo que se dejó un club autosostenible. A ver, Solís, no pidas Gartic, ya les he dicho qué cosa de Gartic. Hoy día es aniversario del club, déjame hablar a ver de mi club, Solís. Igual en el grupo de WhatsApp, no Tucán, jugaremos Gartic. No quiero dibujar huevadas, déjame, no voy a jugar Gartic. Ya les he dicho, si quieren dibujar, agarren un cuadernito y empiezan a dibujar sus huevadas. No me vengan a molestar a mí con su Gartic. Saludos, Reyisita, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Gartic, temática Bolívar. No, métanse su Gartic por el poto, ya les he dicho. Y bueno, muchachos, ¿en qué estaba? Es que me niego, muchachos, cada vez Gartic, basta, no quiero jugar Gartic. Vayan a jugar Gartic con sus minas. Goklingo, huevadas hablas. Ya, espera, ¿qué habla este Ignacio Loza? Este Auri. Y bueno, muchachos, creo que sí, yo me quedo con eso. Este martes tenemos un partido muy importante en lo económico. Para mí, muy importante para ver qué está el club de cara a este año. Porque creo que es indispensable ganarle a ese equipo. En Copa Libertadores, obviamente por los 3 puntos y más, pero pensando a futuro, creo que es muy importante que se vea buen fútbol, ¿no? Y que la gente ya esté un poquito más tranquila con el funcionamiento del equipo. Ayer contra Bebé, bueno, el día sábado contra Bebé, se jugó un buen partido, no digo que un malo partido, creo que empezaron a aparecer personas, o bueno, jugadores que no estaban apareciendo, como es el Papu Velázquez, y muchos más, ¿no? Entonces, interesante. Y bueno, apareció Cauterucho, que en el partido de Libertadores no había aparecido ni de sombra. Parece que Cauterucho solo le mete goles a equipos como ABB. Y preocupa un poquito eso, ¿no? Hoy ganó el Tigre, está puntero con nosotros. Nacional Potosí también está compartiendo la punta con nosotros y muchos más que vienen bien entonándose en lo que es este torneo, ¿no? Que empezó retardísimo y creo que nos va a pesar no solo a nosotros, sino a los demás equipos que están participando en copas internacionales, ya sea Blooming el caso, ¿no? Y otros más. Mete gol equipo chicos como Dorniro, pero Dorni ni jugó. ¿Qué dicen, chicos? ¿Qué dicen? La era Robato es la peor de todos los tiempos, bebé, tomando en cuenta el centenario que es una vez en la vida. Sí, es la peor. La peor. De los últimos 10 años, ¿se podría decir que lo de Robato es lo peor que nos pudo pasar? A ver, piensen. Es que con lo que me dice el técnico de... A ver... Ustedes pónganse a pensar, si tu técnico te dice que el objetivo era solo clasificar a Libertadores y que no estaba obligado a ser campeón, puta, ahí me la bajó mal, amigos, sinceramente, me la bajó mal. Podía aceptarle todas sus huevadas y todo, pero cuando dijo eso, es como que hizo sentir me hizo sentir un club más del montón, ¿me entiendes? Un Nacional Potosí, una Aurora, no sé, otros equipos bien X, así me hizo sentir, la verdad. Por eso yo vuelvo a repetir, yo voy a hablar de lo que veo en la cancha y este martes si es que Bolívar gana se va a aplaudir y si es que Bolívar pierde, bueno, también se va a criticar algunas cosas y si han fallado algunas cosas igual vamos a criticarlas, vamos a observarlas y vamos a dar nuestro criterio. Pero fuera de eso, Robato no puede venir a achicar el club, ¿me entiendes? O sea, creo que hemos tenido el parámetro y la vara de estos últimos años, bueno, desde que yo nací, desde que voy a la cancha, creo que el parámetro ha sido que Bolívar siempre salga campeón, ¿no? Bueno, un ratito vamos a banear al Gaby.